Hi guys! So I wanted to show you how I've been using my B6 Paperblanks weekly horizontal 2020 to 2021 18-month planner since I started using it in the beginning of July. I did a walkthrough of this planner when I had first bought it, and at the time I was planning to use it as a personal planner to replace my weeks. So I'd been using a weeks for the last 5 years, and it had been my very loyal, trusty personal planner that I always use and couldn't really imagine doing without. But I decided to have a kind of one book July shake-up, and I was feeling a bit bored with my weeks because it's very, very plain, as you can see here. It's just pen and paper. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do something completely different and unexpected for one book July, and I'm going to start a new personal planner which I will use for the next year and a half. A little bit radical, and as you might have guessed, it didn't actually work out. So the idea behind this was that I thought it would be nice to have a fun, sticker-rated personal planner that would just be happy and colorful. And then I realized that I really missed my week setup, and I just couldn't cope very well without having a weeks. And so I decided to bring back the weeks, and instead of switching to this new planner, I realized that all I had to do was just start a fun weeks instead. So my 2021 weeks, as you might have seen, is really happy and sticker-rated, and that's how I'm going to use it. And I really love being back in my weeks, even though I haven't started using this new fun one yet. I have it to look forward to, and I'm just using this for the next 8 weeks or so until I can move into the new weeks. And in the meantime, since quite early on, I guess probably from like August maybe, I started using this for a different purpose, which I will show you in a minute. So I'll link the video where I did a walkthrough of this with all of the details down below, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this cover illustration because it is so amazing. This is like a fantasy voyage with a tea party and dragons and wizards, and it's absolutely amazing, and Paperblanks is really good quality, so I love it. I just have a Leuchtturm pen loop here with a Moonman, I think they're called, fountain pen. It's a demonstrator. It's really cool. And it's a B6 size, as you can see from comparison with this Stalogy. So the Stalogy looks a little bit bigger because it's in a cover, but it is basically the same size. They don't call it Stalogy on the Paperblanks website, they call it MIDI, but it is essentially the same. So I just put some little decorative elements here, and then as usual my plan was to use this yearly calendar spread to mark when I replace the ink in my fountain pen, but as it happens I've changed fountain pens a couple of times, so I kind of lost track of this. And then when I first started using this as my personal planner, I'd started to use these monthly spreads as a way of keeping track of household tasks, like changing the sheets and giving the dogs worm medicine and flea medicine and booking checkups for them. And then I stopped doing that when I stopped using this as a personal planner. So I think what I'm going to do at some point is just put a few stickers on here. Like some of the old stickers in my collection that I'm not really sure what to do with, I'll just put on here so that it's a bit colorful. So I pre-planned some things here like book boiler service, and now I don't need that anymore. Because what happened was, when I decided not to use this anymore as a personal planner, I was already a few weeks in, and I had kind of, you know, dedicated not a lot of time, but I'd kind of invested energy in sticker-rating this and making it look happy, and it made me sad to think of just having to put this in the bin. And I've been really trying hard, despite having so many planners, to use all of my planners like for the whole year. And for me, it's much easier to do that if I have a bound book. So bound books are my absolute favorite type of planner. And you've probably noticed from my recent videos that I don't have any other kinds of planners. I'm not using any disc-bound planners or ring planners or TNs or anything else, except for some ring-bound planners that I use as reference binders for things like, you know, like flat-related stuff, like bills that I keep old bills, the ones that I still get in paper copies and things like that. But other than that, I just use bound planners, partly because they're my favorite and I love them the most, but also because I find it easier to stick to them. If I have a planner with removable pages, then I find it very hard to like kind of commit to using them for a year, because if I think, oh, I'm not actually really enjoying this anymore, I can just take out the pages and use it for something else. So somehow in my head it becomes easier to like kind of justify not using it. Whereas if it's a bound planner, I feel like there's the commitment because it's very hard to just repurpose a bound book completely. So I am more likely to kind of maintain it for the whole year or its whole life cycle. And then I have a nice memento at the end. So that's what happened with this. I think I started off at the end of June using this. I actually back planned a week because I got it this week. So I back planned this week. And as you can see here, I was just using this for things that are not work related, but I was using it as kind of a sort of overview. And so I did list some work related things in here, but obviously this isn't where I do my real main planning. It was mostly just going to be for personal to-do lists, and also I was doing some tracking of things that I, have to do every day. And I was just kind of having fun using some decorative stickers, some functional stickers, and this is one of the reasons that I wanted to have a personal planner with room for stickerating, is because I kind of missed getting to use functional stickers of all different kinds, like brush teeth for the dogs and like flea medicine and things like that. Because oddly enough, if you've seen my recent lineup videos, you know that I have quite a few planners and quite a few of them are very heavily stickerated, but because they're all for different specific purposes, like one of them is my planner and another one is my Fat Hobo, the 5-year A5 Hobonichi Techa, where I just like kind of document each day. It's actually not that easy to find uses for the functional stickers in those because I'm not putting down things like buy dog food. So that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to be able to use this, is so I could use all of my functional stickers in a kind of, sort of routine way. So I was using this for a few weeks, and I was also using some of these stickers from the Happy Planner Wellness sticker book, and I was just really having fun with it, but I felt like somehow it wasn't there was just something about it, it wasn't my weeks. And I was getting frustrated not having my weeks, and I missed my weeks, and so first I ended up, I started using my weeks again just as a health tracker, like writing down how much I cycled that day and medicine that I'd taken and how many hours of sleep I got and that kind of thing. And then I thought, you know what, I'm just going back to my weeks. And so I had this redundant planner that I didn't want to just consign to the graveyard. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this planner is that I was putting in the Jewish calendar stickers here, and I find it extremely helpful to have a planner that's with me all the time that has the Jewish calendar, because I always need to know what the date is on the Jewish calendar, when the next Jewish holiday is coming up, that kind of thing. And so my solution now, and I'm glad that I went through this process of doing it in here, because I've transferred that method over to my weeks, as you've probably seen if you saw my last video on my week setup. So I put all the Jewish calendar stickers in here, and this is with me all the time. So my weeks is my personal planner, and so I always have it with me. It's one of my like core planners, right, that I cannot do without. And so what I decided to do, after much pondering and planner dilemma sessions, is I decided to use this as a well-being planner, where I would just put in information that would make me happy and plan out nice things for the next day. So you can see here, this was still a personal planner, so I had things that are not fun and exciting, like hang up rest of the laundry, monitor electricity meter, really make stew, didn't manage to do that, put on auto response, all of that kind of stuff. Not like stuff that would necessarily cheer me up. It was more like things that might make me stressed and are things that I have to do. So I decided my personal planner already does that. Like, it makes me stressed when I see all the boring and stressful things that I have to do. So this planner is going to be the complete opposite. When I go to this planner, it's just every time I open it, it will put a smile on my face, because all I will have in here is nice stuff. So I think that it was around here probably that I started just using this for nice things. And you might say, you have so many planners, why do you need so many planners? Why do you need a specific planner just for well-being and for planning nice things? Why don't you put that in your personal planner? And the truth is I could, but planning is my hobby and I really enjoy it, and I like putting stickers on, and that's like the main thing that I do for relaxation, and it just kind of really helps me unwind and de-stress in a way that most other things don't. And that's why I like having so many planners, because I have my core system, which is my work planner and my personal planner, and then sometimes a daily planner. And then other than that, it's just stuff that I do for fun, and I don't need them. They're not like kind of tied to my ability to get things done or remember appointments. It's just like kind of my hobby. And this is one of those. So I basically just decided that this is going to be like a happy place where I will write down the day before everything that I can think of to do the next day that will be fun. No, so here I definitely was still using it just as a general personal planner because I have all kinds of like stressful stuff like pay credit card and do laundry, my nemesis. So when I started working on this like kind of just as a fun planner, let's see how it changed here. So definitely by here I'd switched over. So as you can see here, they're only fun things. And so basically I try to think the evening before what might be fun that I could fit into my schedule. And I kind of use this as a way of like sort of conditioning myself towards thinking of positive things for the next day. Even if they don't all happen, I don't usually go back and check them off to make sure that I've done them all because sometimes it just doesn't work out. But it's like basically a way of kind of making sure that I set my brain to like think about positive things for the next day and things to be excited about. So like for example, I thought, okay, this day I will, like this is the evening before I was writing, for this Thursday I'm going to cuddle the pets, I'm going to listen to Spotify, I'm going to watch planner videos, I'm going to journal, I'm going to see my friend on Zoom. And so it can be small things, but they're things that like I wouldn't write in this planner because this planner is all things like remember to hang up the laundry and remember to pay the credit card bill, and in my work planner it's all like all of my work stuff. So this is completely different, and I'm kind of trying to like I guess rewire my brain to make sure that I remember to do fun things, because I feel like if it's in my planner there's more of a chance that I will do it. And if it's not in my planner, then subconsciously my brain is kind of registering the idea that is not very important. So I'm sort of trying to like turn these things into habits by writing them down and making sure that they have their own dedicated planner. But as you can see, it's fun and it's full of stickers, and there are no rules for this really. It's just that the week before generally, let's show the next week. So this is the upcoming week. So generally I will put some washi in, and then probably tonight, because this is Sunday, I'll put some stickers in here, functional stickers and also just like decorative stickers, mostly decorative stickers, because obviously this doesn't have to be, you know, like super organized, and there's not a lot of functional stuff so that I need to do in this because it's all fun stuff. So by functional stickers I mean things like these TV stickers. And so I will kind of decorate it a bit so that then every day in the evening I will come to just fill in this small space with nice stuff to do the next day. And I think why this works is because it's small. So it's B6 size, and then with all of the stickers that means that there's less space to write, which means that it doesn't feel overwhelming, because the last thing that you want from a fun happy planner that's supposed to raise your mood and cheer you up is feeling like you've got all of this empty space to fill, because then it becomes another chore. So my rule for this planner is that if I'm too busy and I don't manage to get to it on a given evening, it's fine. I can just cover up that spot with washi the next day or the next week. So like for example here, I was just too busy this day and I didn't manage to do it. I was running a conference and it was really intensive, and I just you know, like this kind of just completely dropped off the radar. So I just put some stickers on, and I think I wrote a couple of things afterwards, like kind of back plan, just to make it full. But that's kind of the rule, is that I am not allowed to like kind of berate myself if I don't manage to get this done, because it's supposed to be a helpful tool that makes me feel happy and not another burden. So yeah, so I just write things like on this day, Tuesday the 6th of October, I wrote like remember to have a break for journaling, which I didn't manage to do, as you can see there, but oh well, like, you know, at least I'm trying. And so here I'll write like cuddle the pets, we played a D&D game, watch your brother art thou, which we didn't manage to do, have a nap. And like all of these things are things that I don't have to do. Obviously I don't have to do any of these things, but every day I just want to make a reminder to myself, include some nice things in the day as well, because normally my day is like very work heavy and I'm working from home, but I still spend most of my time in my, you know, like work room at the laptop. and often it's quite late when I finish, and then I'm like, well, I just have to journal and go to bed. And so it's just kind of, you know, sort of trying to remind myself, like, look at this and do these nice things too, as many of them as you can. And they're all things that I can do quite easily, like hot coffee. I can drink coffee even while I'm working, and I can listen to true crime on YouTube often while I'm working. And I can drink tea and listen to music and cuddle the pets. So it's just kind of like a way to highlight like nice stuff that I want to remember to do, or that I want to draw attention to myself, for myself. And so that's how I've been using it, and I really enjoy it. It's something that I look forward to, and it only takes, you know, like 30 seconds to write these things in, and then I can kind of go over them whenever I have a spare moment during the week. I look at all these things and I think these are all nice things that I get to incorporate into my day. And I've purposely decided recently not to tick them off, because like you can see earlier here, I was like ticking off these things that I did and then crossing out the things that I didn't manage to do. And I decided that that's actually kind of counterproductive for what I want from this planner, because I want this to be like a completely happy place where there's no pressure. And so I feel like if I set these like happiness goals for myself, or like fun things goals, and then I don't do them, I will, like, you know, kind of feel negative about it. And I thought like that invalidates the point of having a well-being planner. So I purposely don't go back and tick them off. I just kind of use them as like kind of nudges to myself for the next day. Like, remember to take time to rest when possible. And I do sometimes look at it throughout the day to like check these things to see like what is a nice thing that I could do that would, you know, fit in with my schedule. So that's how I'm using it. And I'm going to keep using it like that, I think, for the rest of it's like 15 months now. So this runs until the end of 2021. And I really like how compact it is and how easy it is to fit into my schedule. So these stickers that mark the Jewish months and the Jewish Sabbath times, I have stopped using because I'm putting them in my weeks now for 2021, and it's more relevant to have them there because that's where I actually need that information for scheduling things. So I'd kind of like pre-stickerated a few months in advance when I first got this planner, and I was like all enthusiastic and put all of these stickers down, and I actually don't want them here anymore because I want them to just be totally like a fun-based planner. So from the first week of November on, it's totally blank. And I'm just going to pre-decorate with some washi and some fun stickers to make this like kind of nice inviting palette for myself to then come and write on. So that's how I'm going to use it. In terms of how it's holding up, so like I said, I've had this since the beginning of July, and you can see that even though it's very heavily stickerated, you really can hardly notice in terms of the thickness of the spine. It's a bound hardback book, but the paper is quite thick, and I think that makes a big difference because like the thinner the paper, the more of an effect the stickers will have, right? So this is my Hobonichi Weeks, and you can see that it's like all got really like chunky and massive now because the paper is so thin that when you add the stickers in, it adds a lot to the bulk. But with this one, it hasn't done that. So I mean, you can see that the pages are kind of like ruffled where I've used them, but other than that, it's not really had that much of an effect. So I'm just going to keep using it like that, and it's just like kind of a fun little project, and it's been a very nice addition to my planner lineup because whenever I'm feeling like I need a bit of a boost, then I can go to this and write in some nice things and also look over all of the nice things that I've done or considered doing in previous weeks, and that can give me some inspiration as well if I'm feeling a bit down. So I think it's been really nice as a kind of mood booster, and I enjoy having it in my lineup. And obviously the cover also just makes me happy whenever I look at it. So I hope that you enjoyed this. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another video. Bye!